Deciding where to grow or move your business can be full of unexpected delays. Or you could just go to Ohio. With billions invested in shovel-ready sites, a dedicated team whose only job is to tackle red tape, and 0% corporate income tax, Ohio makes it easy for your business to scale faster. In fact, Ohio ranked number 2 in the U.S. for lowest cost of doing business multiple years in a row. Your move. Learn more at jobsohio.com.
Looking for these better days.
It is Football Friday, January 23rd. I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's what you need to know to make today a better day. As promised, it is a special Championship Sunday props preview here on the podcast, and we are thrilled to be joined by a special guest. Of course, Mackenzie Rivers with me here on Better Day, presented by FanDuel. And speaking of FanDuel, we are thrilled to be joined by Gab Gowdy to help us break down her favorite prop angles for this Championship Sunday. Gab, welcome to Better Day.
Hey, guys.
So,
how are we doing? Is everyone having a great day leading up to this wonderful NFL Championship weekend?
I feel like I'm ready for it already. I know it's the same amount of time as we had from last weekend, but I don't know why. Yeah. It just feels like get here already. Like I want these games to be played. And that's like, we're going to feel that. Like, Mackenzie, we feel it every year in that break between the Super Bowl, where it's like that first week is just, I feel like we get everything done in that first week. And then that second week, the actual week of the game, we're like, come on already, let's get to this game. So it's always a fun time, but I feel like this week has just been moving pretty slowly. Gab, have you settled in? We'll talk about all the props, of course, but have you settled in on your plays for either the sides or the totals on these games yet?
No, definitely not in the Seahawks-Rams. For certain, definitely not in the Seahawks-Rams.
What about in the first game, Broncos and Patriots?
For the Broncos and Patriots, I feel like everyone is going to say New England is going to win. Why wouldn't they win?
Well, we hammered Denver, not us. So we've been on Denver ever since this line opened up, and to see it go down now. Yeah, to see it go down now at FanDuel, sitting here at 4.5. The line's moving in our direction, but we've been on Denver ever since this thing opened up at 6, then went down to 5.5. It's just, we've said it ad nauseum. It does not make any sense that this line opened up this high. Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham is not a 7-point drop-off in the spread. And FanDuel posted the look-ahead line before the Bo Nix injury, and they had Denver as 1.5-point favorites over New England. So for them to adjust, more like with everybody else to adjust, it really made no sense. Are you expecting big things from Jarrett Stidham? Are you cautiously optimistic? What do you think we see on Sunday?
I don't think Jarrett Stidham is going to be a scrub by any means. If he can do anything that CJ Stroud did not, they have a decent chance of winning that game. If you look at the past 2 games the New England Patriots have played in, Justin Herbert, not the greatest performance I've ever seen. CJ Stroud, one of the worst QB performances I've ever seen. So if Jarrett Stidham can just keep the ball and not turn it over, I feel like the Denver Broncos have a decent chance of winning this game.
And that's the thing,
Payton's good with backups. He has a good history with backups.
Yep, 5-0 straight up in ATS with Teddy Bridgewater when he got a chance to start. So he's had a ton of backups
out
for
there.
him. Yep.
That's the thing, Mac. We talked about what do we really know about the Patriots, right? And Gab just mentioned it, the performance from the quarterbacks that they played so far in the playoffs. Justin Herbert had absolutely zero offensive line, so he had no time to throw, no time to do anything. They sacked him 6 times. And then, of course, CJ Stroud did everything in his power to give the game away. So we truly don't know. Everyone's like, New England's defense is going to be tough for Jarrett Stidham. Really? Mackenzie, I don't think so. I don't think there's nothing that has shown us this year that that's going to be the case.
No, the Patriots are at best middle of the pack defensively. And you could say they've gotten a lot better recently, or as Gab mentioned, maybe they just had 2 quarterbacks that were not ready, or their offensive lines were not ready for the moment in the playoffs.
Yeah, I personally, I think, I'm very high on Jarrett Stidham, maybe higher than anybody else, but I was high on Bo Nix as well. So maybe I'm just like a Broncos backer. We are holding
You might be. I don't know. The Broncos defense is really good too. And Drake May struggled in the past 2 games. Is he going to be able to keep the ball? Is he going to fumble? Is he going to throw an interception? He's done that in every playoff game so far. So
yeah, it's like him and Sam Darnold too. Not enough people are talking about the turnovers for the favorite quarterbacks here. So yes, Drake May has turned the football over. Sam Darnold turns the football over more than anybody, and no one's talking about that.
He has against the Rams in the last 2 games he's played against them? how many interceptions he has against the Rams in the last 2 games.
Six. I want to say six.
Six. Yeah. That's crazy.
I think that actually might be one of the props that we have to look for.
It doesn't look that great number-wise, but I feel like it'll happen.
Okay, let's start with the AFC Championship game and all of these props courtesy of our friends over at the FanDuel Sportsbook. And let's take a look at the quarterbacks first to see if there's anything that we want to play as far as a quarterback prop. For passing yards, Jarrett Stidham's at 200.5. Drake May, 223.5. Passing attempts, I always think the attempts are an interesting angle to go. Jarrett Stidham, 32.5. Drake May, 29.5. And longest pass, this is one of my favorite bets that I'm going to give out. Jarrett Stidham, 30.5. Drake May, 35.5. Gab, did you play or do you like any quarterback props in this game?
I like Jarrett Stidham over his passing yards. And I know that sounds crazy for a quarterback that hasn't played a game in years, but with Sean Payton, I feel like he's going to be able to simplify things enough for him to get the ball to his receivers. You saw last week they really didn't run the ball against Buffalo. You might have J.K. Dobbins back, but like J.K. Dobbins, what is that going to provide for you? He hasn't been playing either. He's also injury-prone running back. If they want to win this game, I think he's going to have to get his receivers the ball. And in his last 4 games, he hasn't thrown under like 200 passing yards, so it could be fun.
I like to correlated to that. My favorite play is Jarrett Stidham over 30.5 yards for his longest completion. So this is a number. This is a number that I think, Mac, you can tell me if you agree. I think this number is suppressed because it's Jarrett Stidham. Because if this was Bo Nix, this would not be this number. Bo Nix has eclipsed this number in 11 games this season. Jarrett Stidham in 2 games in 2023 for the Denver Broncos had a 47-yard completion, a 54-yard completion. In Vegas in 2022 in that game against the 49ers that everybody wants to talk about, right? He had a 60-yard completion in that game. Sean Payton, as Gab mentioned, he's not going to change the offense here just because he has a different quarterback. They're still going to run their offense. There's still going to be opportunities to pass down the field. If this was Bo Nix, you'd say, yeah, I'd go over Bo Nix 34.5 yards for a longest completion. It's 30.5 here for Jarrett Stidham. I think this is the play.
It's funny. I actually had just in my head prepared an argument for why they will change the offense and why I like Jarrett Stidham over 32.5 pass attempts, because I'm thinking back with Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill and all the backups that they've had, or even Bo Nix early in his career. Sean Payton, probably better than anybody, can draw up completions for me or you throwing a quarterback with his screen game and his short game. So I mean it's pretty random. He might get a 50-yarder that's dropped, and then you had the right handicap with the wrong result. But I think because of the Patriots' rush defense, and we'll get to the running backs, they really haven't allowed anything in the playoffs on the ground. I think it's a lot of short passes, and I like attempts. I don't mind your yards either, but I like attempts over 32.5 minus 120.
So if it is short completions, do you like then Jarrett Stidham over 19.5 completions?
Yeah, it's volume versus efficiency. I think he will be relatively efficient. I'm with you on Broncos plus the points. So I don't mind over 19.5. 32.5 is kind of efficiency agnostic. But if you like the Broncos, 19.5 makes sense.
What do you think about that, Gab?
Talking me into the Broncos right now.
Scott's been doing that since Sunday.
Broncos are going to win this game by 20 points.
He stopped on his way home from Visa, and he's like, I can't record for a minute. I got to stop at the win. They're the only place with a 6 left. So, he's been on this.
I literally have an unhealthy amount on the Denver Broncos this weekend.
No, it's amazing. One of my coworkers, Olivia Moody, Liv Moods, she's a big Broncos fan. I did a thing with her last night. All these Broncos takes, you guys have me believing that Jarrett Stidham is about to be the next Nick Foles.
We saw it against the Patriots.
Are we sure that Bo Nix is like a top 10 quarterback? I haven't seen that. I've seen the Broncos be good.
See, that's
so I think
the
Stidham could be a fairly good replacement.
That's the conversation, because if you look at all of the people that rank quarterbacks, all the analytics out there, Bo Nix ranks 13th in PFF. He's 15th in QBR. He's 26th in quarterback rating. And in respected composite rankings, which take into account completion percentage over expected, turnover-worthy plays, QBR, all that stuff, EPA per dropback, etc., he's 15th. So we're talking about a quarterback that's middle of the league. That's not a quarterback that's worth 7 points or even 6 points to a point spread. That's a quarterback that's worth 4 points to a point spread. So from a pure just, sports book handicapping aspect of this game, it's I'm sorry to say this, you're an idiot if you're betting the Patriots minus 5.5. Like, could the Patriots win and could they cover 5.5? Absolutely. But in no world should you ever lay 5.5 with the Patriots in this game. Now that the number's gone down, it's 4.5 at FanDuel. It might close. If it closes at 3.5, you want to be on the Patriots. I'm not going to make that argument. But from a numbers perspective, that number makes no sense because there shouldn't be a 7-point drop-off between Bo Nix and Jarrett Stidham. That's the whole point. That there's a reason why on Sunday, I just fired in everything on the Broncos.
And I think it's because the public is more involved in these games than usual. And we'll see this as we get into the Super Bowl. People don't want to bet on a backup quarterback. People say injury. All right, let me run to the sports book and bet the other way. So they'll post lines like 6 or 5.5 that probably don't make any sense in a regular season game. And you could say, oh, well, the situation's going to be too much for Jarrett Stidham coming in cold in the conference championship. Drake May has followed exactly what we would think a first-time quarterback would do in the playoffs, which is be worse than he was in the regular season. It's just kind of been obscured because of how bad the Patriots' opponents have been.
Right, like no one's talking about Drake May's performance because you had Justin Herbert on the ground the whole game and C.J. Stroud, again, one of the worst playoff performances I've ever seen.
Yeah, he scored 16 points against the Chargers and really 14 points against the Texans with 2 defensive touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. And the Chargers couldn't capitalize on any of those turnovers when they were right in the red zone. So
okay, Gab, how about this then? Drake May to throw an interception up on FanDuel. The yes is plus 110.
Yeah, I have that written down on my little piece of paper right here. Already in.
What's minus 110? All right, I like that line.
No, it's plus 110 on Drake May to throw an interception. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Jarrett Stidham to throw an interception is minus 176. This is disrespectful because Jarrett Stidham is a veteran. He's been in this league for a long time. He's played a lot of football.
An interception almost every game.
I watched. Let's see. I watched. Who is it? Who's the backup quarter? Chase Daniel, right? That's the backup quarterback that used to be in New England, not New England, in Kansas City, McKenzie, right, for a while. The Missouri quarterback. He does like video breakdowns like on social media and whatnot, and he looked at one of Jarrett Stidham's games in, I guess, the 2023 when he came in for Russell Wilson, and he's like, look at this guy. Look at him before the snap. He's adjusting the offensive line coverage. He sees cover 0. He recognizes it. He's like, this is what you learn when you're Tom Brady's backup. This is what you learn when you're with Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels and then with Sean Payton. You know what you're seeing from the defense here. And so like he walked up to the line of scrimmage, he pointed out the coverage, he moved like a tight end in, and then he hit a wide receiver for a deep play down the field. And he's like, this is a veteran quarterback. This is not a guy that all of a sudden is going to be shook by whatever he's going to see on the field here on Sunday. So I think like that's a big aspect here that no one's really talking about. By the way,
what's the no on that? Minus 170, is there a no pick?
Yes, because I want to bet the no. It's plus 134 on the no.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah. So he did throw an interception against Vegas in 2023. He did not throw an interception against the Chargers in that first start. In the game against the Niners, he threw 2 interceptions, actually. That's the game that everybody wants to talk about, where he threw for 365 yards. And then he threw a pick in the final game against Kansas City. So I still like getting plus money, though. It's fun. We like getting plus money. Maybe. And can we include that in the same game parlay? Will they let you? No, they won't.
No, they won't let you, which is not very fun. I wish they could let you.
I know. You got to talk to the people over.
Sam Darnold, Drake May.
Yeah, Gab, you got to talk to the people over at FanDuel because, like, they don't.
I think you could before. But I don't think you can now.
They're
Sam Darnold and Drake May to both throw an interception. That sounds really fun.
Yeah, and they won't let you do in the same game parlay like attempts, like rushing attempts.
Yeah.
They'll let you do rushing yardage, but they won't let you do rushing attempts in the same game parlay. Mac and I build same game parlays for all the primetime games, and it gets very frustrating when like our best bet is on this guy to go over attempts. It's like, like in the College Football National Championship game, our best bet was Mark Fletcher Jr. over rushing attempts, but you couldn't put that in the same game parlay.
Props must be nice.
But
can't have that here.
Hey, you did.
Well, it goes to show you, it's the old Warren Buffett corollary. If they're scared, if they don't want to have things parlayable, etc., it's because they feel vulnerable. When the book's nervous, you should feel opportunity. When the book's like, "Hey, bet this, we want you to parlay this," then maybe be a little cautious.
Every touchdown score possible.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. We talked about that. All right, let's look at the rushing yards here for the AFC Championship game. Ramondre Stevenson, 49.5 yards. Travion Henderson, 35.5 yards. Always difficult to see which New England running back is going to be the workhorse here. There's nothing up yet for the Broncos, and I think that's because of the uncertainty with their running back situation. Is J.K. Dobbins going to play or not? So there's nothing up on FanDuel right now. The only one that's up is Jarrett Stidham, 13.5 rushing yards, and Marvin Mims, the wide receiver, 2.5 rushing yards if you think he's going to get the ball. Drake May, 30.5 rushing yards. Gab, do you have any feel for rushing in this game?
I don't have anything under the rushing category. I don't know what is going to happen if J.K. Dobbins is out there. What did they have, 10 rushing attempts from the Denver Broncos running backs in that last game? Yeah, and against one of the worst rush defenses, which was crazy. And then Bo Nix literally broke his ankle attempting to rush. So
right, which was a good call by you, Scott. Over rush attempts.
Yeah,
he ran so much he broke his ankle.
For Bo Nix, yes, yeah. But not for RJ Harvey going over anything. I mean,
I couldn't see Jarrett Stidham running around either. More of like a pocket passer type guy. I think he's just going to stay comfortable there.
Yeah, which is why I love attempts over. It's I think notable that they don't have Harvey attempts over at all. But you can bet his yards over under, but you can bet 70 plus rushing yards for him. So again, they want you to bet certain things. They don't want to even give you opportunities for other things. So it tells you what's going on.
So in 2 games for Sean Payton in 2023 with the Denver Broncos, Jarrett Stidham, 6 carries for 6 yards, 3 carries for 2 yards. When he was with Josh McDaniels, though, in Vegas, that game against the 49ers, 7 carries for 34 yards. Against Kansas City the following week, 7 carries for 50 yards. So I do think it's kind of telling that, in the Sean Payton offense, he didn't run. Under Josh McDaniels, he did run. Oh, by the way, Drake May's offensive coordinator is Josh McDaniels, and he runs. So maybe that's just something in his design or his offense or something to look at there. I don't know which Patriots running back I want to be on because it can change every single week. So I'm not really high on the rushing props here in this game. Let's move on to the receiving props. Courtland Sutton, the projected leading receiver for the Broncos at 46.5. Elsewhere for the Broncos, you got Pat Bryant, 32.5, Mims, 27.5, Evan Ingram, 20.5. For the Patriots, Stephon Diggs, 44.5, Hunter Henry, 41.5, Kayshon Boutte, 35.5, and then you got Ramondre Stevenson, 18.5, Austin Hooper, 10.5, and so on and so forth. Gab, any receiving props that you like?
Maybe Courtland Sutton can get involved in the first half of this game. That'd be cool.
So so what about do you want to do maybe first quarter or first half yardage for Sutton?
What do we have for first half?
Let's see.
There's for first quarter, but that's
they do.
I mean, first quarter is 7.5. Come on, he should be able to do that.
They only have first quarter listed, and it was 7.5 receiving yards in the first quarter.
You can parlay that.
That feels like. Well, what do you think about this? Broncos first drive, Courtland Sutton to catch a pass plus 150.
Those are some of my favorites. So I do like that.
Yeah. Mackenzie,
but is he going to be a little scared going out there, is he going to have a little nerves? Maybe second drive, catch a pass.
But what if it's just we talk about this all the time, and this is, I
5 yards to warm up, get it going.
Exactly. I used to place a lot of these first drive bets when we always talk about the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? Whenever there's a wide receiver that's complaining about the offense or whatever, it's it seems like the first play of the game is always a play to get that player involved, right? It's AJ Brown's bitching about the Eagles offense. What is this first snap of the game? And it's Jalen Hurts is throwing to AJ Brown. So you can bet these first drive props if you think that in the scripted plays that's what the coach is going to do here. This could be something where Stidham on the first play of the game, is kind of hey, let's just get comfortable. Let's get in the flow of the game. And Mackenzie, if that's the case and it's a short screen pass, then who does the play go to? Is it the tight end? Is it Courtland Sutton, the number one wide receiver? Like, who do you think they go to on that first drive?
I think for the first drive and for the game, it's what's comfortable for the quarterback to get going. He hasn't had a real professional snap in a year. I think it's Ingram, the tight end, and I think it's Harvey. 19.5 is his receiving yards for the game. I feel like there's going to be 4 or 5 times in the game they're like, let's just get him a little more comfortable with the easy completion out of the backfield.
To go along with this, let's go back to the passing props here. And they have first quarter passing yards, right? So Jarrett Stidham, first quarter passing yards, 42.5. I was looking to see if they had first quarter completions, but they don't. Because that would be something I'd be very interested in, because he could have like 2 or 3 on the first drive and then just do nothing for the rest of the first quarter, but that's something that's interesting. All right, so first drive props, always fun here. Before we wrap up this game, any kicking props? Do we think we get field goals in this game? Do we think we get long field goals with it being in Denver? Any special teams props here, Gab?
I have nothing on the kicking side.
Mackenzie, what do you think?
I once saw a punter hit a 75-yard field goal in Denver. So, the mile high thing is real. I'll tell you that much. But, no props from me on that one.
Let's see if there's any game specials. Nope. I want to look here. Any sacks? No. Yeah. I wanted to see if there's like any props here on like longest field goal or longest field goal attempt, but they don't have that listed here. They have team to have the first field goal, but that doesn't do anything. Guess it's going to matter of who do you think gets the football first. All right, well, those are our final thoughts on the AFC Championship game from a prop perspective. Gab, any other bets before we move on to the NFC Championship game? Anything that we didn't get to?
Are you playing Broncos plus 5.5 if you can still get it?
Now you guys convinced me. I was just going to not do anything, but now I'm all in. Like everybody that I've been talking to, they're like, Broncos. So you guys are making me feel like I have to. I feel like I'm going to be left out if I don't.
Yeah, the cool table is over here. Come on.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Yeah. On Wednesdays, we wear pink, by the way.
Deciding where to grow or move your business can be full of unexpected delays. Or you could just go to Ohio. With billions invested in shovel-ready sites, a dedicated team whose only job is to tackle red tape, and 0% corporate income tax, Ohio makes it easy for your business to scale faster. In fact, Ohio ranked number 2 in the U.S. for lowest cost of doing business multiple years in a row. Your move. Learn more at jobsohio.com.
Every Friday from 6 to 7:30, it's NBA Happy Hour on FanDuel, your pregame for the weekend. We're talking limited time specials you won't want to miss. Boosts, bonuses, surprises, all dropping in the app during Happy Hour. So before tip-off, check the FanDuel app to see the week's special. Then, make your move before the shot clock expires at 7:30 Eastern. It's the perfect way to start your weekend. A little basketball, a little action, and a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour, every Friday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 and older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. Or 18 and older and present in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccp.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
So let's move on to let's go to the NFC Championship game where it's the best. Seahawks 2.5-point favorites up on FanDuel over the Rams, total of 46.5. The 2.5 is an interesting spread. It's a teaser candidate, but I just don't know who you're going to pair the Rams up in a teaser with. Like if you get Rams plus 8.5, who's the other side that you're going with here? We really don't have one. There's no traditional Wong teaser that you're using. I think this game should be 1.5. Like if I'm just looking at the power ratings, these are even teams in my opinion, and home field. Mackenzie, I think Seahawks would get the 1.5 for home field, but as you've mentioned before, like Mike Macdonald and the Seahawks don't exactly play well at home.
Not at all. They have a below 500 ATS record at home, and they're like the best road team since he started there. Actually, since the last time they won a Super Bowl, the 12th man's kind of been a myth. The home field advantage, you look at Neflo or other analytic trackers of home field advantage, it's one of the lowest of the last 5 years, the last 10 years, actually. But the only thing that keeps me off it, the Rams, because I do think the line would be wrong from a power ratings perspective, is all the trends. Third straight road game off in overtime, less rest. Yeah. So I'm conflicted on it.
It's hard. Like, obviously, I don't think there's any chance this gets to 3, especially because the plus 2.5 is already juiced. So it's a little bit less than 2.5 on the spread here. But it feels like Rams are pass for me. I don't know. I don't know if I can come to a concrete decision on the side here, because as much as I have the Rams, in the Super Bowl. I've wanted to bet the Rams all along, but Gab, watching the game last week and watching the game against the Panthers, I don't know if I have confidence. I don't know if I have confidence in the Rams. Like, I don't know if Sean McVay, what is he doing not running the ball against the Chicago Bears? Like, so many things about this Rams
that they made it out of Chicago.
Exactly. So many things about this Rams team just has me scratching my head and not running to the window to back them.
And I'm a bit salty at the Rams right now because the Bears were my preseason Super Bowl pick.
Ooh.
Wow.
I know.
Great job out of you. That was pretty close.
It was a really fun one. It was a really fun one, but then they ruined my time. Yeah.
Well, we hope you profited off that ticket somehow.
We went to playoffs to win the NFC North. We had some other things along the way.
Oh, that's good. Let's talk about the props in this game. Okay, Matthew Stafford at 253.5 passing yards. Sam Darnold, 231.5 passing yards. We kind of teased it earlier with Gab, but Sam Darnold to throw an interception, the yes is minus 146. Stafford to throw an interception. Yeah, Stafford's minus 114 both ways on the interception. Passing attempts, Stafford 35.5, Darnold 29.5. Longest completion, Darnold 35.5, Stafford 36.5. Completions, Darnold 19.5, Stafford 22.5. Gab, where did you go here on the quarterbacks?
The only thing I have for quarterbacks is Sam Darnold interception, but it's not very fun. It should happen.
Right.
I mean, that's fun. What do you mean? Why is it not fun?
It's fun when it happens. It's fun when you go to it happens. It's like, give me my money.
I like it to be a little juicier.
Yeah,
sure.
You are laying minus 146 on it to happen. Sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze, though. I mean, I think Darnold's throwing a pick, and I'm curious, Mackenzie. Matthew Stafford pass attempts.
Yes, I was just going to go there.
Is at 35.5. Now, one of our followers, Steven, sent me a screenshot of his bets last week where he's betting every quarterback to go over their alternate passing attempts. So he's betting every quarterback to go over 40 passing attempts in every game. And if you noticed in the playoffs, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing all these quarterbacks have like crazy games where they're throwing the ball over 40 times per game. But because of all the crap that Sean McVay took after that Bears game, because of all the criticism for not running the football, for dropping back as much as he did, do you think he pulls a John Harbaugh? And if you remember, everyone gave him crap for not rushing Derrick Henry. The next week, Derrick Henry ran the ball like 30-something times. Do you think Sean McVay says, well, you're right, we need to establish the run and not drop Matthew Stafford back 40 times? Do you think that last week's performance and the criticism affects this week's game?
Yeah, and he's a humble guy that is the kind of guy that would say, all right, I didn't make good decisions last year. Let me bring in an analytics guy in the booth. Every time there's a timeout or fourth down conversion, I can talk to somebody about it. And he went as far as to say, I made a mistake last week without actually saying I made a mistake last week. I do think that they limit pass attempts. And you mentioned the playoffs, how they're seeing all these pass attempts. This season, 32.1 pass attempts per game. That is the lowest since 2006. So in the last 20 years, really? Less drives, more efficiency. Offenses has been really efficient, but less volume of pass attempts. I think the playoffs is a smaller sample. I wouldn't overreact to that.
Okay,
We're also getting like 7-minute drives per quarter right now.
Exactly. Longer drives, less pass attempts. Yeah.
So that's interesting. Well, Stafford 42 attempts in both of his first 2 playoff games. I kind of want to go under 35.5, but I'll feel like I'll feel like an idiot though when he passes for 40 times again. That's my only issue.
Well, yeah, I feel like an idiot any bet I make that doesn't win. I know. I was thinking of Sam Darnold under. It looks like 29.5. 30.5 is out there, but you get reduced juice at FanDuel minus 102 at 29.5. Everyone's talking about not only the 6 picks in the last 2 games Sam Darnold had, but the 3 terrible games he's in a row, or 4 terrible games he's had in a row against the Rams. I feel like the Seahawks are cognizant of that. Yeah. We saw them protect him last week, only throwing 17 times. I think if they can, they'll, even without Charbonnet, they'll try to limit his exposure.
Well, let's talk about the rushing props.
Kind of waiting for Sam Darnold to revert back to what we know he is. I don't think he's going to, but like it could happen. It could really happen.
Every time against the Rams, it seems to
like one hit back into a pumpkin. Be doing his like ghost bit again.
Well, that's why we're.
I can't believe he said that out loud. Why would he do that? He's the mic is right there.
Throw an interception, right?
Right.
So for rushing attempts, see, this is kind of like the corollary, right? Like I think that if McVay says you're right, like I should have ran the ball more last week. Does he try and establish the run this week? We have Kyren Williams at 14.5 rushing attempts, Blake Corum at 7.5 rushing attempts. Gab, do you think either of those running backs goes over their attempts?
I don't know about attempts, but I think Kyren Williams is going to go over his rushing yards. I think 53 is a really low number.
53.5. Yeah.
53.5 is a really low number for someone that's averaging over 70 yards against the Seahawks all time. So.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And in our trench report this week, we did highlight the 2 games that they've played against each other where Kyren Williams actually, went off in both of those games. Kenneth Walker also has had success, and without Zach Charbonnet, Walker's prop is now 85.5 yards. Do you have any interest in touching that number?
I do not. Just Kyren Williams.
Yeah. Here's the 2 games that they played against each other. Kyren Williams, 12 for 91 and a touchdown, 23 for 70 in the second game. Walker, 16 for 67 and a touchdown, 11 for 100 and a touchdown. Mackenzie, is 85.5 too high here for Kenneth Walker?
I think I want to pivot to attempts at 19.5 because especially if they get a lead or if it's a defensive game like I'm expecting, they're going to limit Darnold's exposure. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to have a great game, but I do think he has a high volume game. So 19.5 attempts would be, I prefer that.
You see, this is where like the same game, the anti-correlated same game parlay is the nut here. Like if you can do over rushing attempts, but under rushing yards, it's like
that'd be pretty fun.
It's beautiful. And unfortunately,
what's the number? What do we get up from that?
Well, unfortunately, FanDuel doesn't let you do the rushing attempts.
They're scared.
So you can maybe check that out.
No, I mean, they're not scared. They're beautiful people with strong conviction. Yeah. We love FanDuel.
Yes. I think 85.5 is too high. It's too high for that one. All right. Any other props that we did not talk about here in the NFC championship game before we throw out some fun sprinkles? Gab, anything?
I kind of like the Rams points, total points. But I don't. But I'm so scared of this game because I don't know where it's gonna go and what's gonna happen.
Mackenzie, any final bets on the NFC Championship game before we have some fun sprinkles?
I kind of like DeMarcus Lawrence to get a sack. I don't know. He's just a veteran player. He's been to all the biggest games. I feel like he gets a sack at plus 225. I don't mind that one.
Okay. That's I don't hate that at all. Okay. Let's have some fun with championship specials. These are the sprinkles.
Ooh, this is my thing. This is my favorite thing.
All right, Gav, this is your thing. We saved the best for last here. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got 4 teams playing here on Championship Sunday. The highest scoring team, Seahawks plus 200, Patriots plus 220, Rams plus 250, Broncos plus 500. Lowest scoring team, Broncos plus 145, Rams plus 290, Patriots plus 350, Seahawks plus 390. I'm going to jump in first. Give me Seahawks plus 390 lowest score. Actually,
I agree.
Give me it's Patriots or Seahawks at plus 350 or plus 390 to be the lowest scoring team. Yeah.
Let's look
Seahawks too.
I mean, Darnold put up 37 against this Rams team in a big second half comeback. But before that, he put up, 19? He put up 9 last year. He put up 20 in the other game against the Rams. I could see a seeing ghost game, and they score 5 points.
I can see it. I saw plus 390. That'll be a fun little sprinkle on the lowest scoring team. I don't have a really feel for the highest scoring team because I don't know if is it going to be a high scoring Sunday? Is it going to be a low scoring Sunday? And I don't think we're getting enough value here. Most passing yards. Stafford's the favorite, plus 135. Darnold, plus 250. Drake May, plus 300. And I feel like the only bet to be made, guys, is Jarrett Stidham, plus 490. I mean, come on.
He might be the worst quarterback. He might have the lowest yards. But the variance, the spread of possibilities, I feel like is unrepresented. He could be just better than Bo Nix. It would not shock me.
I already know my pick for rushing yards.
Yeah, plus 490. Most rushing yards. Let's go to it. Kenneth Walker minus 150. Get out of here. Kyren Williams plus 450. Ramondre Stevenson plus 650. It's funny. RJ Harvey's actually on this list at plus 850, but we don't have his game props yet. Travion Henderson 15-1. Blake Corum 17-1. Gab, I'm going to do you one better. We already know you're on Kyren Williams plus 450. Yes. I'm going to suggest Blake Corum at 17-1.
Could be fun. Now, I did this wild card weekend, and I put $10 on Woody Marks. And that was $200 pocketed, so that was fun.
Yeah.
That's nice.
You see, all it takes
Did you list all the players on that? Because there's one name I was thinking that you did not list.
Who?
Drake May. You could have 80 yards.
Yeah, he's not on the list.
Man. Yeah. So if he gets 80 yards, and would he just no one gets the money? They just keep it all?
Seems like.
Yeah. Man. I think Blake Corum at 17-1 is worth a shot. I mean, all it takes is what if he breaks one? Just give me one 60-yard run for a touchdown or whatever. Next thing you know, he finishes the game with 84 yards, and he's the leading rusher of the week. You never know. So 17-1 is just a fun sprinkle there. Most receiving yards. Puka at plus 170. JSN plus 185. Devontae Adams 11-1. Cortland Sutton 13-1. Stephon Diggs 15-1. Kayshon Boutte is at 17-1. And then we can go down the list of some really long shots here. I actually have a long shot that I'd like to bet.
Marvin Mims. Is it?
I don't hate that at all. Marvin Mims 30-1. But I was actually thinking the way you're thinking. I was just going with somebody different. Lil Jordan Humphrey.
Oh, yeah.
He's at 125-1. I mean, come on. 125
That's your handicap? Come on.
You're telling me that Drake May can't throw one bomb down the field, cash our longest reception prop, and have it beat at Lil Jordan Humphrey? That's a fun one. And the other fun one I thought about was the kickoff return specialist, Rashid Shaheed, at 40-1. What if he just catches one long bomb pass from Sam Darnold?
Clint Kubiak brought him over from New Orleans for one reason. Every 5 times a season, he has a play drawn up in the dirt where he needs the fastest guy possible. So that's why they put him out there. That might be reserved for the conference championship. I kind of like Boutte, too, at 17-1. He made the best catch I've ever seen, I think, last week. He might just be on a heater right now.
You know what would suck, though, is for Shaheed, is if they draw up a trick play and it's a screen pass that he takes for 80 yards to the house.
And then it's behind?
It winds up being behind the line of scrimmage as a running play or something.
Yeah, that happened with Puka last week,
Yeah. Okay, here we go. You have, we'll get to the tight ends only. This will be our final sprinkle. Tight ends only, most receiving yards. Hunter Henry plus 140. By the way, Mackenzie, this bet last week for us was on our way to hitting if what's his face, Tongas didn't get hurt. Because he had 50-something yards in the first half.
In 2 quarters.
He was on his way. And he was at 7-1 plus 750. Hunter Henry plus 140. AJ Barner plus 410. Colby Parkinson plus 550. Terrence Ferguson plus 750. Evan Ingram 8-1. Tyler Higbee 13-1. I kind of like Parkinson plus 550. You like anybody here, Gab?
Well, you kind of convinced me on Evan Ingram 20 minutes ago. So I might be in on that.
Let's just sprinkle on all the Broncos players. I mean, that'll be the fun one.
It might as well.
Yeah. Well, can I sell you then on our guy Jarrett Stidham, now down to 17-1 to be Super Bowl MVP?
I'm sure. Count me in. Count me in.
He was at 19-1. I will also give you guys your warning here that, yes, currently you can wager on anytime touchdown scorers in the Super Bowl. However, all bets are action, meaning even if the player you bet does not play in the Super Bowl because their team loses here on Sunday, you lose your money. All bets are action. So if you bet a player on the Patriots to score an anytime touchdown in the Super Bowl and the Patriots lose to the Broncos, you lose your bet. You don't get a refund. So be careful on that. But if you have a strong feeling, like if you have a strong feeling the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks, Kyren Williams at plus 320 for an anytime touchdown scorer in the Super Bowl, it's kind of attractive right now.
But you should be aware it's a two-leg parlay. You're betting Rams money line, and then you're betting this prop.
Exactly.
So that's why the odds seem juicier than they would be, because they are.
Well, Mackenzie, I mean, this is why I have you here, because like you went to Yale and you're smart. Because let's say you did a same game parlay of the Rams at plus 116 on the money line with the current odds on Kyren Williams to score a touchdown in that game at plus 125, which you would think would be a similar line in the Super Bowl, right? Well, that two-leg same-game parlay is plus 269. So actually betting the anytime touchdown in the Super Bowl, you're getting more value than the two-leg parlay.
Are you using the Better Day? Are you using the Better Day parlay calculator?
I am not, but let's. You know what?
You said minus 116 and plus 125, right?
So let's see what let's go to betterday.com. Our free parlay calculator is available for anybody to use. You don't have to be a member. So our two legs are going to be plus 125, right? So we're at plus 125, and our second leg is what I'd say the Rams money line was. That is at plus 116.
Okay, so
and your true payout should be plus 386. So FanDuel is saying, no, we're going to give you plus 269. But also, if we go back then to the Super Bowl special, and Kyren Williams was at, what was he again? Super Bowl touchdown, Kyren Williams, plus 320. So actually, it's not good value. There you go. That is why we have the betting tools and the calculators for you up on betterday.com to find out if you are making smarter wagers. You can use our parlay calculator, our hedge calculator, the EV expected value calculator to make sure you're making positive EV bets, as well as the break-even calculator. All the tools available for you at betterday.com for free. Free 99. You know what they say? If it's free, it's for me. Can't thank Gab Gowdy enough for joining us here on this pod. Gab, thank you for giving us your props, your leans on the games and for the players, and I hope you enjoy Championship Sunday. And for all of us here, for Mackenzie Rivers, I'm Scott Seidenberg. Here's hoping you make today and every day a better day.
Deciding where to grow or move your business can be full of unexpected delays. Or you could just go to Ohio. With billions invested in shovel-ready sites, a dedicated team whose only job is to tackle red tape, and 0% corporate income tax, Ohio makes it easy for your business to scale faster. In fact, Ohio ranked number 2 in the U.S. for lowest cost of doing business multiple years in a row. Your move. Learn more at jobsohio.com.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.